Hello and welcome to the couch. This is One Shot, the show where we scour all the streaming platforms and pick one show and give it one shot, one opportunity, and one episode to impress us. We'll watch these shows so you don't have to. This is One Shot. Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to the couch. As you heard it, we are doing the next episode of One Shot on the show, the Flatbush Misdemeanors. I'm Kosi.
And I'm Chris.
Yeah, let's get right into it, shall we?
All right, so Flatbush Misdemeanors. This is an American comedy series by Kevin Iso and Dan Perlman. They both play the leads in the show. And this is actually a straight-to-order series on Showtime that came out of their digital series of the same name. So the premise of the show is it's supposed to be a raw and grounded comedy of city life, which follows Dan and Kevin, our lead characters, who play individuals struggling to thrive in their new surroundings in the brash environment of Flatbush, Brooklyn. The show explores two longtime friends seeking to climb out of their heads and connect with others. So we had a chance to look at the first episode.
Yes, we did.
Very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
You know, I did not expect the show to be as funny as it was.
I love this.
Coast, well, first start us off. What did you think about episode one?
Like episode one, I think what shows like this do so well is they get you invested in the characters and the scene right away. And I love how they kind of set this up with like, okay, we know these two friends, like these two guys go way back. And like the opening scene is one of them just bringing food to, so I believe it's Kevin.
Yeah, so Kevin is working as a delivery man, and he just happens to be bringing Dan his food at the school, and hilarity ensues.
Yeah, and like this is like, it felt like so slice of life. That's what I love about stuff like that. It felt like this could actually happen. Like we're just watching an interaction between two friends, and then the security guard who was just giving him a hard time. And I just loved how they're able to, within the first 5 minutes, establish their friendship, establish their dynamic, and also kind of give you, I think what's also good about the show, with shows like I akin to Atlanta, or even like a show like Blind Spotting, they definitely make, like, you have the characters in the show, but then you have the setting, and they really made Flatbush it's an area of New York, because it's a neighborhood in New York. They really made Flatbush also part of that. And again, they did it all in the first 5 minutes. So I love that. We were laughing, and we're just laughing at just how absurd, and just, again, it's very surreal, but also it's things that that I was able to identify with and just really feel for. And like, again, they did it within like 5 minutes in opening the show. So I was enthralled.
Yeah, no, the opening of the show really sets the tone going forward, and I think it's fantastic. I mean, the banter between the characters, there's a lot of really funny dialogue in this. Just seeing Kevin go about his day with his delivery job and how he's just trying to make it. He's a starving artist, right? He makes a joke about that early on. He's trying to get off of Dan's couch and make something of himself because he's just moved back to the city. And just watching his struggle was surprisingly... It pulls you in. You actually feel for the character while you're laughing. You kind of want things to work out for them. So this is the kind of first episode that does what it's meant to do. It pulls you in. You make an instant connection with the characters. It is funny, and I can already say I would definitely watch episode 2.
Oh, you definitely recommend this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I too would recommend this. I think what this show, watching this again, not to draw comparisons again, but it felt like I felt kind of, I saw parallels to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In terms, again, I say the hyper-realism, but also just making these characters real people. They didn't feel like, oh, they're just saying lines. No, it felt like Dan and Kevin were friends. Like you could feel their history, even though without them like beating over the head with like, oh, I come from this part, and this is how it is. But they kind of let you, as a viewer, they let you into their world. Yeah. And like, I love the fact that, you know, it's kind of juxtaposed from like Kevin, he's a hustler, he's trying to make things right, but Dan, more upstanding.
Right, he's a teacher. He's a bit more level-headed, but even he has his moments, right?
Dan definitely has his moments, and so the inciting incident of this particular episode was how Kevin has gotten into some bad with these drug dealers in the local area.
He owes some dangerous people some money, and his buddy Dan has to kind of swoop in and help him out as they go about trying to figure out how to pay them back. And
oh my gosh,
it's really good because, and see, here's the thing about comedies, it's very easy to get so into the comedic nature of things that it stops feeling realistic. It
Yep, I
stops
missed
feeling
that.
grounded, right?
Hmm.
But with Flatbush, it keeps you in. Like these characters, they have their banter, but it's still grounded. It
Right.
still feels like the real world.
Right.
So they did an excellent job with that.
And I want to also give a lot of credit, not just to Dan and Kevin, the actors, but everyone else, the whole cast, even from people from the students at school
Right,
to,
high school students were
to
great.
even the drug dealers that Kevin owed money. Everybody had a thing to them. Everyone had an angle. Everyone had something about them. Shout out to Blue. Blue was some guy on the drug dealer's couch that wasn't really in any dirt. Or
He was
danger,
great. He was a standout.
but he was just playing video games and didn't want anyone interrupting his video game time. And we can all kind of relate to that. But there's wild stuff is happening and this guy's on the couch just playing video games, but like again, everyone had their thing about them, and and every character did. I love how a show or movie has all the characters involved do something that makes you either feel for them, laugh, or feel some kind of emotion out of them, and this show definitely touched on that with everybody.
And I definitely appreciated the way that it was very episodic, right? Like all the plot lines that were introduced in this one, they were tied in a pretty neat bow. But overall, you still have the overarching story of like Kevin trying to make it, right? So you still have that to pull you along. But like as far as one episode goes, if you just like only have time to watch one or two, you can still get a solid story out of them and just enjoy these characters. So
Exactly.
it's great.
It was a full story with a full arc and full like first with the first, middle, and ending act. And what I loved about this was a thing that a lot of movies and TV shows do is they establish either a MacGuffin or some kind of thing within the early on, and they bring that back. And this definitely brought it back with and it actually had a tie into how the whole resolution of Kevin's issue. Not to go too much into it, but it was a way that they were able to combine the stories of both Kevin and Dan to
Right.
meet at a head. I thought it was massively done.
It was
and
well
just
done.
So simple they did it. They made it look simple.
Yeah.
And just fun fact, this first episode was directed by Dan. I think Dan did an amazing job. I'm just looking up that both Dan and Kevin had been making series of shorts before this, so you can tell that they've worked together before, that they're
Right.
comfortable working with each other, comfortable just going back and forth, and it showed up in their characters, and I love that. So the fact that they're now getting rewarded, and we saw now it's actually been picked up for a second season. So I would definitely recommend everyone to go watch this. It is on Showtime. Really quick watch too, like not even 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Really
No.
easy.
Some of them are like 30 minutes. Like that.
I loved it. So I don't know. So what are your closing thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, solid comedy. Definitely recommend. It has passed the one shot. I would watch episode 2.
You heard it, guys. Cousin Chris gave it's actually your second shot that you'd give.
Yeah.
I also love this show. Again, if you love shows like Atlanta, Blind Spotting, you would definitely be. Again, also I'll say this. People are going to be like, oh, is this like a black show? Oh, is this like an ethnic show? No, it's a slice of life show. It again, how they made Flatbush a character. It's showing you life in Flatbush in this really culturally diverse section of New York, but we're still focusing on these two friends. These two friends and their dynamic is the crux of this show. I think anyone can get some enjoyment out of this. The jokes do come quick, so I'd say to look out for that. We might have to pause a couple times to rewind, but it's very smart. It's very earnest too in what even the message is trying to do and what they're trying to convey. Again, in just one episode. So I definitely loved it.
All right. Yeah, and it has been renewed for season 2. It was renewed back in August of 2021. So I don't know if that's already dropped yet or it's still coming, but either way, definitely worth giving it a shot. So.
All right, guys, you heard it from us. We will definitely give One Shot a second shot, and we definitely hope you guys do. Once again, this is One Shot, the show where we scour the internet and watch the shows so you don't have to. Thanks, guys.
See ya.